What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a movie that I had not planned on talking about on my channel because I probably wouldn't have watched this outside of like some of my family being a fan of the game. I saw the trailer for this and immediately from the trailer was like, yeah, this isn't going to be for me. This movie looks absolutely ridiculously dumb and not anything up my alley whatsoever. And this movie is making waves in the media right now because of its box office success. This thing cost, I think, $150 million to make, and they've already grossed $336.1 million globally. Which is absolutely insane. Like, this movie, I don't think anyone expected a Minecraft movie to make this much money. I know that it's a very well-renowned game. It's been played for years and years and years now, and it has a very large community. And the success of this movie got me thinking about a lot of things. And I watched a lot of videos on TikTok and YouTube this week about a lot of the issues that have been occurring at movie theaters nationwide during the screenings of these movies. And so the success of this correlating with all of the disturbances during shows and things that have been happening at the theaters and police being called got my mind thinking about movies like this in general and what it means for the industry as a whole, what it means for movie theaters, and what it means for creativity in the future. And I thought that I would discuss a little bit of that with you today. So like I said, I hadn't really initially thought about seeing this. I still haven't watched the movie yet. And I don't really have to see this movie to know exactly what it is. You're taking a property, you're putting these characters into the movie. I'm sure it establishes some level of backstory, especially with the kids that are leading it. They get thrown into this Minecraft world. I've seen a ton of clips where it's literally just Jack Black pointing out items from Minecraft, saying them out loud, and eventually I'm sure there are some action sequences and the movie resolves in a happy ending where they defeat the villain. It's a beat by beat by beat type of thing when it comes to taking an existing property and creating a movie. So for me, it's like I'm not all that interested. And I remember when the trailer for this movie came out, and it was like one of the most disliked trailers that has ever released on the internet for a movie. I can't remember exactly what the like to dislike ratio was on the initial trailer, but I know that it was incredibly disliked. People were making fun of it like crazy, but that begins the conversation surrounding this. The younger generation right now, I would say from the ages of probably 12 and 13 to like 19, early 20, is the generation of memes. They're the generation that can take any sort of property or idea and turn it into an enormous joke. So when the teaser trailer for Minecraft was released and Jack Black dropped the I am Steve line, there were millions of videos uploaded between YouTube and TikTok of people just making fun of it, remixing it to songs, doing all of that. And it has blown up into this enormous cultural phenomenon. When the full trailer was released, just segments of Jack Black listing things from the Minecraft universe were put out into social media to where kids are just running around quoting lines from the Minecraft trailer. And because this generation is the way that they are, they will go watch these movies even if they're horrible because they want to be a part of the meme. They don't want to miss out. Like if everyone else and joking about something or talking about it or posting a video of themselves online and reacting to it, they want to be a part of that culture in hopes that they can either get famous making a video or so they don't feel like that they're missing out, which creates this entire new wave of consumers when it comes to film. And I think there's a positive spin to this and there's a negative spin to this. For starters, if you want to look at the positive spin, movie theaters have been hurting since the pandemic, and there are specific movies that have done really great things for the theater industry. And the one that's easily comparable to a Minecraft movie is the Barbie film. You're taking an existing property and creating a film based on that. And Barbie was a cultural phenomenon. It made a ton of money. But the difference is with the Barbie movie was saying something. It was discussing feminism and talking about women in a way that was actually intelligent, and it was funny, and it was very well made. And that's because Greta Gerwig is an incredibly competent and fantastic filmmaker. That's an example of taking an existing property and making something out of it that can resonate with viewers in a way that feels meaningful. And that not every movie has to have some like resounding message that's going to stick with you. But the problem is, this Minecraft movie, from the looks of it and all of the things that I've seen, it's devoid of any sort of creativity. Kids are finding it funny because Jack Black has a boisterous personality. He can literally say something loudly and people react to it with a laugh. It has nothing to do with the quality of the dialogue or how things are written into the movie. It's solely because he is who he is. And Jared Hess, who made Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre and a lot of movies that have that sort of deadpan offbeat comedy, can do something like this and make it successful because he knows what's going to appeal to audiences with a very specific sense of humor. And for kids now, I mean, just people talking loudly and referencing things are enough to get them to laugh. And so you're creating a movie like this, and there doesn't have to be anything super new or engaging or enthralling about it. And as I said before, kids are going to come to it because it's a meme. And that's great for theaters because they're making a ton of money. But on the inverse of it, I think movies like this are part of the reason why the theatrical going experience right now is miserable. It's the worst that it's ever been. I am someone who adores going to the movie theater. I think seeing a film in its initial intended format with the way that the director intended something to be viewed is my favorite way of experiencing a film. And I've told some stories over the past couple years since the pandemic. I have had some of the worst experiences that I've ever had in my life going to the movie theater. I've seen someone pour a drink on someone else, get into a physical altercation. I've seen people scream at each other. I've seen families come into a theater and legitimately start talking from the moment the movie starts playing until it gets to the end credits. And it's just like going to the theater now has become a luxury item. It's incredibly expensive. I'm an AMC Stubs member, so it doesn't cost me a lot. I pay like 20 some dollars a month, get 3 movies a week. My money is worth it for that cost. But most families in America are not doing that. They're taking their kids to go see one movie, or they're going to one movie off and paying anywhere between $13 to $20 for a movie ticket. And on the high end, sometimes in an IMAX or like a Dolby screen, 25 bucks. And because of that, people feel incredibly entitled to the experience that they're having. And in this particular case, kids are going and videoing themselves reacting to the movie, which, like, when you think about this phenomenon, it's not new. When you think about movies like Rocky Horror Picture Show, or even what happened with like Tommy Wiseau's The Room, where you have these screenings of people reacting very loudly and like verbally responding to things on screen. This isn't a new phenomena, but it's an isolated thing. When you go to that type of an experience, you know that you're having that type of experience. In this particular case, there are a lot of families that are just taking their kids to see movies, and that's why there are a ton of videos on TikTok right now of people shutting down screenings and the police being called because kids are throwing popcorn. And as a movie theater employee who worked at a movie theater for almost 10 plus years, I feel horrible for these theater employees. Like, the messes that are being left behind, just the complete and utter disregard for the space. I'm sure the way theater employees are being treated is horrendous. And this type of thing, it's great for theaters, but it's also awful for movie theaters because this is going to open up a whole new world for production companies of like, we need to make what is memeable. We need to make products that are memeable, that people can post things online. I saw a lot about like Sonic 3 when it was released, and a lot of these movies where they're just turning things into a meme, and kids will come out in droves to be a part of it. You even see huge content creators like Mr. Beast getting people dressed up in Minecraft outfits and going to the theater and watching movies, which causes the audience to go there in droves. And it's going to create an even worse environment for the theater going experience. And I'm not necessarily saying that for someone like me who goes to the theater for a lot of art house and horror movies, but it still occurs in some of those situations, because if you think that something like that is okay and that behavior is fine when you're going to see a movie, and I'm not saying you can't go into a theater and like laugh or have a reaction to something. I've seen several movies this year that the audience reactions have been the best part of my experience. Companion from early on in the year, Novocaine. Those were really fun movies to watch with a packed audience because of the reactions of the gasps or the laughing or, oh no, don't go in there, but in a very respectful sense, in a way that makes sense. This is just like a whole nother level of like kids acting out and there being literally no ramifications for it, like no one getting in trouble. Like theaters are so desperate for money that even kicking people out for that very reason is hard. And so it becomes a very double-edged sword with this type of situation, and I find this a very interesting topic, and I'm really curious what you guys have to say about it, because after watching this weekend, I was like excited that a movie was making theaters this kind of money, but also very disheartened at the fact that this could completely and totally shift the dynamic of how people go to the theater. And obviously, you could say, Nate, this is a kids' movie, it's made for a younger audience. Well, sure, but then it promotes behavior from then on out when you're going to the theaters overall. And this isn't just like young kids we're talking about here, like people filming this on TikTok, 19, 20, 21, getting into adulthood. So I think that it's an interesting conversation, and I'm really curious as to what you guys have to say about it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.